All right, so AJ will probably be joining us in a little bit. We had to get started. Sorry for you guys having to wait a little bit. Welcome to another award show podcast, exclusively here on the Popcast Network. My name is Owen. Joining me as always is Ashley.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're going to discuss the just completed 2019 Critics' Choice Awards. But first, we bring AJ in. Hopefully he can hear us.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I had to start. I'm sorry.
Tay, all in all, did an adequate job. Nothing spectacularly good, nothing spectacularly bad. Although there was the random bit with fucking, what was it, Jono's Burgers in the background? I'm trying to work out whether that's a tie-in to like a CW show or something.
I was kind of getting the vibe that dude wasn't supposed to be there, and I was kind of expecting to see him being escorted out in the background.
Nah. That's what made me think it was just something that was clearly planned, maybe. I don't know.
So already the chat's on top of this. Josh Rickett says they'll still give Gwen Actress and Gaga song at the Oscars. I mean, one of those is a guarantee. One of the other ones, I hope not. Smurfy Boy says Critics' Choice just threw a monkey wrench in everyone's predictions. Maybe not. Cool Guy says the ties were insane. Two of them, says Brian. Yeah, ties are ridiculous, honestly.
We have ties.
And I'm sorry, but I'll state right now, the only thing good about ties is it gives us both a point. That's literally the only thing that matters about a tie.
What I will say about the ties is this wouldn't have happened if you didn't have a 48-hour window for voting.
Yeah. Smurfy Boy says the only category that looks like a lock is supporting actor.
Maybe.
We'll see.
Are we strictly talking acting categories? Because I think stuff like director and cinematography are doing pretty well, too.
I mean, AJ, you can vouch for this. Is Roma that good, or is it just... What is it? What's it about the movie?
Well, I think it's like... I guess you could say it's like objectively good.
Mm.
I just kind of had trouble connecting to it like emotionally, with the exception of like that one scene. But apart from that, I just felt a bit like distant from it. But any big wins it gets are not unwarranted. So I'm okay if this is like what it's going to be. Even though I'd much prefer, like Black Klansman, but Roma's definitely worthy of if it's going to do big things. Or the big thing it's going to do, I guess.
Well, you know me better than anybody else on the panel for good reason. You've been my best friend for a myriad of years. The thing is, me personally judging by what I like, will I enjoy Roma?
Possibly. One thing that actually really stands out is how short it feels, despite being 2 hours and 15 minutes, and just kind of being a moment-to-moment sort of movie. I felt like it just sort of blew by. That's something that really caught me by surprise. So that might help you.
I hope so, because you know that I have that thing. I don't have it with me. It's not here in Florida, but I do still have my yo-yo. Somewhere. Cool Guy says supporting isn't a lock till Allie wins SAG.
Yeah, I'm really having a hard time still with this Ollie potentially sweeping thing. I don't know. I do think Grant has a great shot at BAFTA, but
I still remember the thing on the carpet afterwards when he says, "Look, I'm 61. This is my first nomination for anything. I'm just happy that I'm nominated."
Fair. Cool Guy says Roma is excellent. It easily deserved the prizes it won. Screenplay categories were shocking. Smurfy Boy says Star is Born and Black Klansman have underperformed. And Josh Rickett says SAG will tell all. Bale's the official frontrunner for actor. I don't know about that.
The thing is, there was one thing nobody mentioned there, but we'll bring it up when we actually get round to it.
Right,
I'd say anybody that's jumping to a huge conclusion after tonight, I say the same thing that I did to Lady Gaga when she won Actress. Dude, it's Critics' Choice. Calm down. I mean, obviously this gets them more attention, but I still think once we get into
people
awards,
at the Academy don't like you, they're not going to give you the nod.
Once we get into the awards that the actual industry votes for is when I'll start jumping to conclusions, probably. But
I'm not pulling my support yet. Guess I'll go down with the ship again because, I mean, got a little bit of experience of doing that, so probably going to do it again. Brian says, I think maybe if Roma wins picture at the Oscars, it would probably be a big message on the big migrate Chris down at the southern border with the partial government shutdown.
Yeah. That, I think, is another reason why it's been championed so well, because it is a Mexican film. Although, the interesting thing that we didn't bring up when we talked BAFTAs last night, Alfonso got pissed with Netflix because they put Spanish subtitles on for people in Spain. Because Netflix apparently thinks Mexican Spanish and Spanish is different enough that it warrants it.
Okay.
And Alfonso was like, you twats. And so they then basically actually remove the subtitles so people in Spain just watch it as it is.
so you say somebody just mentioned that the screenplays were shocking. It's a little.
I wonder why you're happy with that, AJ.
Well, it is a little annoying that I knew First Reformed was going to get something. I just went with the wrong category. And I knew.
Yeah. No, I mean, as soon as I saw it in the also awarded tonight, and I'm like, what? It happened? It actually happened?
I mean, it's a thing, I guess.
It's not blunt, but it's like 50% of a dream.
This is the part in award season where everything I say starts to get contradictory, because I just said, people, calm down. It's only the Critics' Choice Awards. But now I'm going to say, well, Schrader is back now.
He's in the race.
I mean, we'll see.
I am never more of a hypocrite than I am during award season.
This is true.
So should we quickly run through TV before we get to the movies?
Before we get done, Brian, I think we all talked about, I mean, Ashley brought up our thoughts on Taye Diggs right away, so.
Yeah, I didn't think he did a terrible job, but it wasn't like really good.
He looked like a master of the craft compared to Olivia Munn last year, as did the whole show.
But then again, I think I'd say the show was somewhat stolen by Eugene Levy
and Catherine
O'Hara for their bit,
as it should be, as rightfully should be.
Yeah, that ovation was like really endearing. I was actually really happy to see that.
I mean,
normally you only get that.
Normally
you only get that when it's the Oscars, and it's like, I thought they were dead. You know, what was it last year? Rita Moreno. Oh, standing ovation.
I mean, the show has gotten a lot of accolades, even though it never really wins much. But I mean, it's always consistently getting nominated for things. So, like I said, as a big fan of theirs from the guest movies, I'm very happy to see that happen.
Definitely. Quickly running through the TV, because this is the addendum to what we actually care about.
Patricia Clark. If you cared about TV, this is not the podcast for you.
Patricia Clarkson coming away with supporting actress for Sharp Objects, following on from the Globes. Sticking with that as well, we had Ben Whishaw for Very English Scandal.
Ashley also got that, but AJ did as well.
Then the first what the fuck. We have a tie for Best Actress in TV Movie Limited Series.
Dear God.
And to think, if it was one vote different, Amy Adams would have won nothing again.
Gustavo says, welcome, Gustavo. His SAG predictions have updated. Malik for actor, Close for actress, Adams for supporting actress, and Crazy Rich Asians for ensemble.
Yeah, this is another one of those years where it feels like SAG Ensemble could pretty much be anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That certainly included.
Especially after what happened tonight, but we'll get to that. So, by default, well, at first I was trying to work out, is this half a point? But then it was like, well, no, we picked a winner, even though it was two of them. So,
I mean, I consider us both getting a point for each of the dumb ties.
Yeah. Then, unsurprisingly, actor in TV movie limited series went to Darren Criss as well.
All three said that. Yes.
We all said Amy Adams, by the way, for the other one. Sorry, Patricia Arquette, but we thought you were second. Turns out you're joint first. Then, just in the order that I've got, especially because it's the order that they seem to go with in terms of announcing, at least in terms of the main categories at the end. To drama, supporting actress went to Tandy Newton for Westworld.
Ashley and myself had that.
Noah Emmerich for supporting actor for The Americans.
AJ had that one.
Yeah, I haven't even watched The Americans. I just know that I wanted to see Noah Emmerich win an award in my lifetime, so I'm happy.
Congratulations, it happened.
Actress in drama went to Sandra Oh for Killing Eve.
I should not have gone against her after she won the Globes.
Well, you say that, but Matthew Rhys got Best Actor.
Yeah, I was the only one that said that.
So AJ switched away from that for the Globes.
Yep.
I guess American critics don't give a shit about British television. Then again, they did give the award to Wishaw, so...
It was for Paddington too, obviously.
Motherfuckers!
Of course.
Then supporting actress in comedy. Alex Borstein for Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
AJ got that one.
Owen switched away from that one.
I did. It was Laurie Metcalf for The Connors. That was a mistake.
Supporting actor in comedy went to Henry Winkler for Barry.
Agree, Sean Hayes. Thanks for helping me lose again.
Will and Grace.
You were great. You were a great Dr. Frankenfurter, though. I won't lie about that.
Rachel Brosnahan swept it for all of us with actress in a comedy.
Of course.
And Bill Hader got Best Actor in a Comedy Series for Barry, and never showed up to accept it.
Yay. Well,
so many people weren't there.
Well, Brian asked if Rachel Brosnahan is the new Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
That's pretty accurate.
Does that mean Marvelous Mrs. Maisel is Veep now?
No.
Hey, Jack Mooney.
Veep is satirical. Marvelous Mrs. Maisel is just, we're writing a film about Joan Rivers, but we can't legally do it Joan Rivers because we'd have to pay too much money for the rights. Hell, they even had her on basically as a consultant in the early days of the script writing, didn't they?
Sure.
Because it's basically around characters like her in the 50s and 60s that were sort of trying to compete in that sort of world. So
apparently, Brian saw a buttload of Marvelous Mrs. Maisel promos on his commercial feed.
I got one.
There were one from what I remember. At least It wasn't applause, please, applause. Although spoilers, me and Owen didn't actually get that feed this year for the Globes.
No, I found a different
one. Best animated series went to BoJack Horseman.
I called that and didn't go with it.
Adventure Time gets fuck all.
Bill Hader is phenomenal, and Barry deserves every award, says Cool Guy.
That's the thing. With the bloody Emmys, though, now, not till September, I guess the only thing left for that is do they do TV for SAG? I think they do, don't they?
There's a SAG for television, yeah.
There's a lot less, but they still do it.
Yeah, but that's all that's left for him, really, isn't there? Up until September, because I don't know whether there's any other major TV things. Not that I can think of. Best TV movie we all got wrong because it went to Jesus Christ Superstar.
I was not expecting that one at all. Cool Guy says BoJack is the best show on television.
Well, it's not on television; it's on Netflix. So fuck off. It's a streaming service that you watch. Yeah, hell, you don't even have to watch it on television. Watch it on a tablet.
Okay.
Best limited series went to Assassination of Gianni Versace, American Crime Story.
Ashley and myself got that one.
Yeah, I really should have climbed on board that. But
yeah, but you recovered it for yourself because Americans took best drama series.
Yeah.
Smurfy Boy says, who's going to win at SAG, Adams or Arquette?
Hang on, I'm trying to remember who else is in the running.
Cool Guy thinks Adams is winning SAG and also says, by Emmy standards, that is a television show.
Yeah,
they'll probably crazy and go for Emma Stone for Maniac.
Hey, Cassie.
Keep in mind as well, though, because of Patricia Clarkson being in there as well. That honestly is that is probably a free horse race there. Don't rule out Patricia Clarkson.
So we done with TV?
Well, there is the thing about if we were thinking that Adams was going to take SAG, it does feel a bit risky since she's pretty much the front runner for Vice because King's not there.
Right.
Yeah.
You have to, because I already got burned once this year by trying the double Adams win thing. The Globe said no on both accounts.
And well, the only one who didn't mention Owen, Marvelous Mrs. Maisel getting best comedy.
Okay.
We all said Barry.
Yep.
So with that, AJ had 9, I had 10, Owen had 7.
Yeah, Owen
Just
did
for that part.
really bad at TV.
So, in terms of the film stuff, the first one they dished out was original song.
The shock of
which
nobody.
Unsurprisingly went to Shallow, yeah. That might be another one of the ones where you might as well call it now.
That's a sweep. That's a guaranteed sweep at this point.
I don't even know if it's nominated in the Grammys. I need to bring that up as well. Then next, I think next was the supportings, wasn't it?
Sure.
On the list that you've got.
Don't forget my numbers. My numbers are wrong, so apparently.
No, but
yeah, it's supporting.
You've got the order right. Yeah, they went to supporting. Was it No, it was actor first. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I've got.
When we should have all gone with the obvious one, Mahershala Ali for Green Book.
Yeah, I made a clerical error that I'm not going to make again. But to be fair, I mean everybody. Well, except for me. Shock, surprise. It fits with the day. I will state right now that Grant and Elliot both had an equal chance to win this, and Ali wins again.
Are we all under the impression that if Ali wins SAG, you might as well call it?
I think it already was called in chat a minute ago, too.
I was going to say that, but in the event that Grant can take BAFTA, he's not, out. Especially
it's a 20% chance rather than a 2% chance if he wins at BAFTA.
Well, this is the usual go-to for that scenario, Alan Arkin in 2006.
Yeah.
When Eddie Murphy took everything until Arkin took BAFTA, and that's what cut him off. What cut Murphy off.
I guarantee we're not betting against Maisel at SAG, says Brian. Cool Guy says Shallow is nominated for record and song at the Grammys. And Brian says Shallow along with all the stars at the Grammys. Jack Mooney says, very sad Grant didn't win. Smurfy Boy says Grant could win BAFTA, like you said, AJ. Cool Guy says Critics' Choice would copy the Globe. That's why I predicted Ali.
What? Wow, really? I'm just looking at the Grammys. Star is Born didn't make it in for soundtrack or compilation soundtrack or score soundtrack. Yet Greatest Showman did.
Shock surprise. That's probably your winner right there. Murphy wasn't nominated for Dreamgirls at BAFTA. Ali didn't win BAFTA for Moonlight, which, of course, Brian said yesterday.
Yeah, I wasn't following near as closely in 2006 as we do now.
No, not even close.
I'm also confused as to why the Grammys have got Blade Runner 2049 in for score soundtrack this year. When it literally came out, 18 months ago?
There's different rules for Grammys, apparently.
Well, I get with Star Wars The Last Jedi, because that's sort of right on the cutoff point of 2017. But Blade Runner was what, like September 2017?
The first week of October.
Grammys are a year behind.
Well, why is Black Panther in then? I guess because that's February.
Sure.
Maybe. But then Deadpool 2, which I guess that was around February as well, so I guess that does make sense.
Star is Born wasn't eligible because of its album released after the deadline.
Ooh, so I guess, does that mean Shallow beats This Is Me?
Shallow was because it was released before the deadline. No, I actually think This Is Me would win.
That means Lady Gaga isn't getting a Grammy this year.
Who knows?
Best
Supporting Actress.
Unsurprisingly, Regina King.
Yeah.
But as we keep stating, after the Oscar nominations, we're not going to hear from her for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my first thought was
no BAFTA, no SAG.
Shallow will be
one. But she's really, really got to do something with this speech because it'll be the last one she's giving for like however long.
I guess the only other time we'll see her is Spirits, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Then Best Young Actor Actress. I went down with the ship with Thomas and Mackenzie when I really should have just gone with the obvious one, and that was C. Fisher.
AJ and myself had that.
I don't know why Bo Burnham was dressed as Two-Face. There you go.
When I first saw him, I thought I was imagining that, but then I got a better look. And
it was just like, oh, wow. Two-Face suit. Right. What next was on the movie front? Owen?
3. This is so confusing the way this is.
Yeah, because they do TV and then just go back to movies. And
Supporting Actress, and the next one was... You guys can help me in chat. I'd appreciate it. Best Sci-Fi or Horror Movie is next.
Yeah. We all got it, I'd say, somewhat surprisingly right, considering how supposedly close it was with Hereditary and Quiet Place, but Quiet Place won.
I think Quiet Place always had this.
The only chance to see her on stage this year, I guess, but I'll take it.
Not necessarily. We'll see. Best Action Film was at the Blue Carpet.
Oh, yeah.
Mission Impossible Fallout of all, for some reason. Okay.
Was anybody else watching the red carpet when they did that?
Yeah.
Where Christopher McQuarrie just happened to be standing there, and it was like, oh, by the way, we have this.
And then the best thing as well, you know, they announce it on the actual thing for people that didn't watch the red carpet bit. Of which case, why the fuck did you put that on the show when you said the awards were starting at 7? When the blue carpet, and then the bloody people were just like, "Oh, this is the best movie I've seen this year," and then they buggered off and somebody else, oh no, yours is the best movie I saw this year. Stop sucking up to them. Jeez.
Cool Guy says Hereditary is infinitely better. Foreign and animated were also given out on the blue carpet.
Beautiful Boy, one of the best movies I've seen this year. If that's the case, why is it only nominated once? Just saying.
Okay.
You could tell as well that Macquarie was pissed because at the time when they announced it, as they were announcing the video packages, fucking Joey's Burger twat came in and was sort of like hogging the show. And you could see Macquarie's look on his face was just like, thanks for the love, because it seems like you give more shit about the bloke in the back with his burgers. I'm never coming to this airplane hangar again. Next up on the docket, Owen.
Again, I'm not even sure because these numbers are so messed up.
Hang on, I'm gonna have to go to deadline tonight.
Go ahead.
No, I want the live blog. I don't want the fucking.
Ashley's anger is always a highlight. Yeah, Cool Guy. If you watch the wrestling podcast, you'd see it a lot more often. Trust me.
That was the. Yeah. Oh, that awkward situation. We'll mention it properly later, but even before the ceremony officially started, somehow it was put out on Twitter by whatever places about the winners of the animated and the foreign. Before they were announced about an hour before on television. So, great job there, social media people. Anyway,
how prestigious these awards are.
And then, like in another one, after last year with bloody Gal Gadot, apparently you follow that up with Claire Foy for the See Her award.
We didn't.
I looked at her IMDb. You know what she's got coming up, guys? Nothing. She has no projects in the works.
Not only that, but they said, here's this amazing actress, and here's a montage of 3 things she did. And they didn't even mention Unsane.
I didn't mention Unsane. I didn't mention Breathe.
Unsane, I haven't watched The Crown, but as far as movies go, Unsane's probably by far her best performance so far.
Surprisingly enough, Roma, I'm of course being sarcastic, Roma wins Best Foreign Language Film, and Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse wins, which I think this might potentially start sewing this award up for Spider-Man at this point.
I was starting to wonder if Isle of Dogs could take BAFTA the way Kubo did.
It'd be nice. I'd like to see at least win something this season.
I'm not ruling that out.
I might just go with it just because. I went with it here and it didn't work out, so maybe BAFTA will be more kind.
So then the next swerve. Best Ensemble went to The Favourite. And the great thing is, nobody was fucking there. I don't know where they were, because I don't know what other film awards actually are happening, if any.
I love how you could watch it getting whittled down, too, because it was like all the Crazy Rich Asians cast was there, and then it got down to Viola Davis being the only one there for Widows, and then just nobody for The Favourite. And I told you the one time I choose Widows for something, it wouldn't get.
That just surprises me, in all honesty. Then with the pre-show stuff, they had the animated feature and the foreign language added in, and then the screenplays, because we don't want to give anybody that much credit. So first up, original And AJ is saying, "I told you so" to that one person in chat.
Despite
Despite
the fact that I didn't go for it, of course.
Well, I still say it's the moral victory, AJ.
Would be.
Nothing for the favorite, nothing for Green Book. Of which, did anybody? I'm bringing this up here, even though I should bring it up later. Did anybody notice an issue when they announced the nominations for Best Director?
Oh, how they pronounced Farrelly?
Farrelly. He's fucking Italian.
Farrelly. I love that they can't pronounce Farrelly, but Quaron and Ventimiglia were fine.
I think that's why she went for the Italian thing, because of Quaron. So it's like, Farrelly, yes. Wait, what?
Smurfy Boy says, I think everyone's tired of Disney Pixar winning animated each year. Jack Mooney says, Ashley, what do you think about Viola Davis getting in a BAFTA? We talked about this last night, actually.
It's a fair choice to have as a fifth one in terms of the British pick. In all honesty, I'd say. God, Claire Foy was in Season of the Witch. And Lady in... I don't even remember her in Lady in the Van. Dear fuck. I actually like that film. And then Best Adapted, unsurprisingly, went to Barry Jenkins for If Beale Street Could Talk.
I can't even remember why I went with that. It just sort of felt right.
Yeah, one person on this panel didn't, and he paid for it dearly.
Because it's only one of the few films that you've actually seen this year. You're going to stand by it for a lot of the time.
Not as much as you would. I mean, somewhat. But I mean, what I've seen, I definitely wish it was getting a lot more love.
It says a lot that over here, they're now opening it in IMAX this week only. Which it never really had in its opening run back in October. They're partially doing this as well, I believe, because next week it's being dominated by Glass. Seeing all the bloody critical response to that one, that might be a fucking mistake. Oh, look, we have empty screens for Glass. I wonder why.
If Beale Street can win at the Oscars, Regina King can still win. Regina King can definitely still win.
Yeah.
I wouldn't bet against her at this point.
Don't rule it out just because she's not in the SAG and whatever. If she's got enough momentum and does the right campaigning.
Another thing that could really help Regina King is something that I feel like will probably happen, which is SAG and BAFTA will split. Because then there won't be like a real competition in her path.
Right.
I mean, is there the possibility that, like, well, what if SAG gives it to Emma Stone and like BAFTA gives it to Rachel Weisz? Does that mean Adams has got no chance at all?
Yeah, she's totally dead if that happens. But what I was thinking was Adams for SAG and Weisz for BAFTA.
Yeah.
Cool Guy thought Spike Lee would win. Brian says, the question is, who's next for animated? How to Overrate Your Dragon, Toy Story 4, Frozen 2, or The Addams Family?
Don't rule out Shaun the Sheep Farm again. They always do like to have... It's weird this year when you look at the sort of main contenders, they're nearly all computer animated sort of things. There's no sort of like plasticine sort of stuff. No hand sort of made stuff, which they often try to do rather than just be like, you know, cartoon arts rather than physical sort of stuff. If that's the case, should I not be ruling out Missing Link? So that's coming out in a couple of months, isn't it? The new Leica film.
Oh, that's theirs?
I think it is. I keep seeing posters for it. Then again, I also keep seeing posters for the Queen's Corgi, which looks fucking terrible because it's one of these Spanish or German things that they've probably changed the story of completely. Like Animal Kingdom, Let's Go Ape. Dear fuck. 2019. See if I can get it. I think it's the Leica film.
Yeah, Jack Mooney says that it comes out in April.
I think we get it maybe March, a little bit early. I'm not sure. Anyway,
well, if it's under them, that movie just got a lot more interesting than it sounded.
Oscars clearly hate Legos.
Yeah.
Well, that could be in as well. It depends. We know they hated the first one. Yeah, we'll see what they do with the second, because a lot of people felt that should have. Well, I was certainly very passionate about why the fuck isn't it here? Is it just because of Will Ferrell?
Well, don't forget they snubbed Lego Batman too.
Oh God, completely forgot that. Yeah.
Next.
So then they went to the comedy awards. Best actress went to Olivia Colman, who wasn't there.
Ashley got that one right.
Once again, I went with it, just in the wrong damn category.
And then actor in comedy went to Bale in Vice.
That's
in fact, Louis Armstrong. And then best comedy movie itself goes to Crazy Rich Asians. Whether that means it's going to have enough momentum to possibly slide in as like entry 7, 8, or 9, whatever you want to call it, on the Oscars now, I guess we'll have to see.
Yeah, I feel like if it's going to do that, it's going to have to also snag that last adapted screenplay slot, which might be hard to do, depending on how much is behind it.
Smurfy Boy says the thing that helps Regina King is if she gets in it. If she got in at SAG, she would have won. But the people couldn't vote for her, wouldn't vote for her at the Oscars. Cool Guy says hashtag Oscars so Lincoln log.
The one thing I didn't note, though, about the comedy section is how Ben Stiller was just talking about editing.
Yeah, they tried to redo the Nicholson joke from the Globes, apparently. The misdirection joke.
Yeah, but at that same time, part of me is wondering whether they did that for Stiller because he thinks, why give any credit to the comedy films when you should be giving more credit to the technical people behind the things?
I'd kind of like to think that's what he meant.
Who knows? Who knows?
Smurfy Boy asks if Crazy Rich Asians get that last spot and adapted. Like AJ was saying, it seems like it might be too packed.
I mean, it's definitely there.
Yeah.
But Black Panther getting in WGA really helped Black Panther there too. So it's going to be a battle for it.
We'll see. Then, speaking of the techs, here's the tech dump, quite literally. Best cinematography. Again, I missed an open goal here. Went to Alfonso Cuarón for Roma.
AJ and myself got that one.
So that's pretty much all. You know, I'm still putting Morrison in probably my nominations, but I think Alfonso's probably walking away with everything now. Then, an interesting one. Production design went to Black Panther, which was not up on any of our radars, I'd say, given that me and AJ went for Favorite and you, Owen, went for Mary Poppins.
Yeah, I may not make that mistake anymore.
I guess, does that mean that Black Panther's now in contention for the Academy?
I don't remember
Normally production design does not go to contemporary comic book stuff, does it? Nearly always period stuff, give or take.
Jack Mooney says, I'm hoping Widows gets the final spot for adapted, but Black Panther will probably get in because of Logan.
I would say it's got a pretty good job. But once again, we're talking about one of the categories I'm worst at with production design. So I think Black Panther's totally possible, and I'll probably end up predicting it gets nominated there, but not with much confidence.
It's Crazy Rich Asians this year's Wonder Woman, the film the Academy will try to nominate as they can. I'm not going to, again, I'll tip my hand. I don't have Crazy Rich Asians getting in for anything, so we'll see.
In all honesty, if you're going on the popular one, it would be Black Panther, surely.
And Cool Guy says favorite Black Panther at the Oscars.
Sticking with Black Panther, it actually took special visual effects over Avengers.
That's a nice big fuck you to everybody that complains about the final fight.
Apparently, rampaging rhinos is good enough for a Critics' Choice Award. Then we had editing, which went to First Man.
This is so aggravating. I have no fucking idea if First Man is in this or not.
Same.
We went through the whole the guilds will take care of it thing. Then the guilds didn't take care of it, but now it's doing fairly well, especially after BAFTA. BAFTA was a really nice push for First Man.
Yeah, even looking at the guild, the fact it's going up against Roma, Star is Born, Bohemian Rhapsody, and Black Klansman in the best edited drama, that still feels a little like, not too confident about it. So
it's one of those cases where it's also annoying when the guilds split things up because it doesn't tell you shit.
Yeah, it's just like, guess. Then best costume, also going to Black Panther.
Yeah, I felt pretty good about that, and I feel good about its nomination chances too. Though it did just it missed in BAFTA, didn't it? There, yeah, because it missed most cases in BAFTA because we kept saying it was going to always fill in the slots.
The British Academy, I guess, didn't care about Black Panther because it probably came out like 2 weeks after the cut-off point for like last year, so it was just like it was that early. They just went.
I stress. I know I dwelled on this yesterday, but I mean, still, I just can't get over it. How much they went for Vice, despite how much they threw away some other movies. The world doesn't make sense anymore.
It looks as if I'll be seeing that tomorrow, so I'll be trying to work out whether I can work out what's going on there. Speaking of Vice, it took best hair and makeup.
I knew it was going to happen again. I think I said when we did the predictions, it was one of those things where I had Vice marked and then I changed it to like the favorite or something.
You had the favorite. I had Vice.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Hold on, Ashley.
Oh, go ahead.
Brian says for production design, AJ broke his curse last year. You got all the nominations right.
Oh yeah, that's right. Fuck yeah.
Jack Mooney says I called First Man with editing winning. Cool Guy said the same. Smurfy Boy says, can First Man overperform and get Gosling an actor in Best Picture? I was the only person that got Ryan Gosling in this race, and he was never in it, apparently.
Yeah, I definitely feel like, I mean, obviously it'd be very, very low, and if we only get like 7 or something, it won't, but if we get like 9, I do think First Man is totally likely, but I think the Gosling train is long since gone. It's long since
I was the only one that was on that train. Like Dunkirk and I Tonya last year, says Brian. Cool Guy says Black Panther visual effects at the Oscars. Vice was the obvious choice for makeup. Yes, agreed. Many perceive Gosling too subtle.
Yeah, it's definitely Vice definitely is the obvious choice for makeup. The trouble is the and hair part. It's throwing me off.
Well, because of course the makeup wouldn't the makeup also for Black Panther be technically Killmonger's boils?
Body, yeah,
Yeah,
his kill count.
yeah. His KD ratio. And then score going to Justin Hurwitz's First Man.
Well, he's
Is
in it to
that
win.
now somewhat of a shoe-in now?
Until somebody brought it up the other day, I didn't even think about the fact that it's like, yeah, Chazelle movies and music do pretty much go hand in hand, even if he's in fucking space, apparently.
Mooney says, Gosling was incredible. The scene where he literally sits at a table and cries over his daughter was groundbreaking. Gosling's best performance.
That's a pretty bold statement. I'm not going to hate on it, but it's a bold statement.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's his best, but it's certainly a strong performance. Then they have the Chuck Lorre achievement thing.
I love how his whole speech was basically saying, everybody thinks I suck, but I'm getting an award anyway.
And then at the same time, it was like, you know, bloody Jim at the end saying, oh, we're all real good friends of yours. Was that the case when they had that contract dispute last year about the price per episode that they were getting? Just saying.
Score's confusing. First Man missing BAFTA was big.
Yeah, that's true. Especially when they went for it in so many other places. But then again, BAFTA also went with something that's probably going to never get in score, like Black Klansman. So the slot is still open. So I'm sure Hurwitz is perfectly safe at this rate.
Brian brings up the fact Roseanne was not in the montage.
I wonder why. You can mention it by name, but it's like, considering all the issues that are around that, you know.
Well, he did mention the actors that want him dead. I'm sure she's in there.
Then we went to Best Director, which was Alfonso for Roma.
Shock surprise there. I will say this again. I've said it a billion times. I'm going to say it a billion times more. I really wish Bradley Cooper was more in this.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, it could be worse. It could be like somebody totally unworthy. Sort of like, I mean, not that I dislike what he did, and I actually like the movie a lot, but it could be worse. It could be another Tom Hooper scenario. So we can always be happy about that.
And then to the final three.
Yeah.
Best Actress is a tie.
Oh my God.
With it going to Glenn Close and Lady Gaga.
All that matters is Gaga won this.
Yeah, it's like, it's a 3-person race. Let's see
Yeah.
what Joyce says to break it. Oh, Coleman won something, Close won something, and Gaga won something. When was that? They actually kind of tend to do, well, I guess this isn't recent as far as I can remember, but it is weird how many times they tie, because I remember 2 famous moments were when it was Nicholson and Day-Lewis in 2002, and then didn't Streep and Bullock do it in 2009?
I'm not sure on the history of Critics' Choice that that much.
Well, of course, the funny thing was when Day-Lewis and Nicholson tied, Brody wasn't even nominated there. The only other nominee was Robin Williams for 1 Hour Photo.
But I honestly thought when it was a tie, my honest thought was Close and Coleman.
Yeah,
I'm glad that was the case.
I didn't think that Gaga was going to get in with it, but when she did, I was like pleasantly surprised, and all of a sudden, if Gaga, if is it wrong to say if Gaga doesn't win SAG, then she's probably sort of like the mid-range outsider compared to Close and Coleman, or not?
I think that's really hard to say, because usually to answer that question, you look at how they react to the movies themselves. But like, both The Favorite and A Star Is Born are probably going to do really well nominations wise.
Right.
So there's like no real deciding factor.
Smurfy Boy asks, "Is A Star Is Born out of Best Picture race?" No.
No,
It's definitely getting nominated,
after the Lady Gaga win, when it came down to it, I honestly thought that the three contenders to win tonight were Roma, A Star Is Born, and Vice.
Right. Best Actress is messed up now, says Brian.
The big question about what's in and out of picture is what PGA is going to say in like a week.
Well, not even that. Is it? No, it's Saturday, isn't it?
Saturday, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then speaking of Vice, Bale took Best Actor as well.
That's a shock, actually.
Now, I'm just putting this here because if this is the last time this film comes up. Could the Bohemian Rhapsody stuff have affected voting, given that it literally was Wednesday and Thursday?
That, as much as I didn't want it to, that had no choice but to cross my mind. But I don't know, because like I was saying, I don't know if I'm seeing the same things as other people, but really the day after the Globes, when everybody brought it up, I haven't really seen it since then. It's almost like it kind of disappeared, and the whole Green Book thing started to take over controversy-wise. And even that seems relatively quiet.
Yeah, it's not sort of major stuff, but I'm just thinking, with the critics that are seeing a lot of the sort of stuff and could get swayed by opinion, whether that maybe was an effect, I don't know. Then again, we can't truly say that because Bohemian Rhapsody wasn't even in the Best Picture category anyway, so.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I mean, it was in for ensemble, but you can probably see that the favorite won that because his Best Picture was going to something else.
Yeah, Bohemian Rhapsody does seem to be much more of an industry thing, so it will really be interesting to see how he fares at SAG. Because with Bohemian Rhapsody making SAG Ensemble and PGA and the Editing Guild, there's industry love behind it for sure. So he'll be a big contender for SAG still.
For sure.
Jack Mooney says, "I heard someone today said Felicity Jones could take the 5th slot."
That'd be from out of fucking nowhere.
Yeah. Considering the mixed reviews that I've heard for that, especially when it's like the best film about Ruth Bader Ginsburg that's out is not on the basis of sex. It's the documentary that's actually authorized.
Cool Guy says Close is winning. She has a narrative and the momentum. Smurfy Boy says she wins at SAG.
Plus, apparently, she's friends with Lady Gaga's mum. Who knew?
SAG will decide who wins actress. Cassie says, "Yep, that was interesting. That where the two tie is in movies and in television." Smurfy Boy says Coleman wins BAFTA. Cool Guy is not surprised Bale won. Bohemian Rhapsody's biggest detractors are critics. That likely helped Malik. The critics hated Bohemian Rhapsody, so it's no surprise he didn't win. SAG could be the only place that Bradley Cooper wins.
Well, the critics were even saying Rami's performance is incredible. They just really didn't like, I think, the subject matter of the movie and how it sort of it wasn't the picture that I think people originally envisioned it to be. Hell, what Sacha Baron Cohen originally visioned for what it was going to be. and where we had that issue.
Yeah, because a lot of it was just kind of complaining about historical accuracy more than anything else, at least from what I saw. But I don't really, yeah. So I don't read reviews that thoroughly, so it's hard for me to tell, I guess.
And that means that we're a picture now.
Yeah, which went to Roma.
And AJ's the only one that went with it.
I feel like it's got a really good shot at PGA too. I think
if it wins PGA, this is over.
Not that it's unearned, but I feel like the picture race is about to get real boring real fast.
I honestly think, I know that a lot of the British critics that were talking about the BAFTAs were saying, well, it's obviously between a favourite and A Star Is Born. I would not be surprised if Roma wins that and does an actual clean sweep.
We'll see.
Yeah, because obviously, because of the foreign rule, the globe thing is just an anomaly in its path.
Yeah.
So.
And it won foreign anyway. It could do the double.
Or it loses foreign at the Oscars, because that makes sense when it comes to that category.
Yeah, I probably could stop here and say maybe I'm overconfident in a black and white foreign Netflix movie in regards to getting picture, but it's in a really good place. So
when we looked at the ideal of we're going to live to see a Netflix movie win Best Picture, I wasn't necessarily thinking it would be this year.
Or black and white.
I didn't think it'd be so soon. Yeah. Well, no, because black and white foreign technically was the artist.
Yeah.
We've already had that.
Exactly.
Cooper should be running away with actor, but he's in third place. If Cooper doesn't win anything on Oscar night, he'll get 8 nominations and no wins. Big Short won PGA with Spotlight still win picture. Cool Guy says, I thought Cooper would win, but because of his other nomination, it's kind of like Clooney. And Brian says the BAFTAs didn't match picture with the Oscars for the last 4 years.
Yeah, somebody brought up the Big Short Spotlight thing, but the following year too. But most of the time, PGA is pretty reliable. But it is nice though when it's kind of, because the last time Quorum won PGA, he tied with 12 Years a Slave, which is bizarre.
Surely Bradley though is more than likely to be getting a DGA in the first time feature thing.
I'd say so.
Well, what's even his competition there?
I mean, you got Bo Burnham for 8th grade, Carlos Lopez Estrada for Blind Spotting, Matthew Heineman for A Private War, and Boots Riley for Sorry to Bother You.
Yeah, Cooper's got this.
Burnham's the closest competition, I'd say, out of those 5. Or the 4, sorry, with Cooper. So
as Brian said, is
he's winning something.
Right. First legit foreign language film to win Best Picture. All right. I think that's our show.
Overall totals were myself and AJ had 22. Owen with 18.
Yeah.
Which means the scores on the door is that I'm still 4 points ahead of AJ with 34 to AJ's 30, and Owen's on 24.
I've been mathematically eliminated from the competition with 2 award shows down.
Well, you I wouldn't say rule it out, because you could just, I think there could be, you could take some glory in getting more of the Oscar, nomination picks.
Maybe.
When we get to Tuesday. But yeah, the next time we'll reconvene for a post-mortem of an award show. I'm guessing will be a couple of weeks for SAG.
Yep.
And I guess we'll wrap in PGA discussion there as well.
Correct. We also got to talk about the guilds in general before they happen.
Well, those will be the only guilds before then.
We have to predict all 3 of the guilds.
Yeah.
It's more likely that Cooper will walk away empty-handed come the Oscars. Unfortunately.
Well, I know this is like the wrong video for it, but do you want to do PGAs now so we don't have to do it Tuesday? Considering it's only like what? We're just doing feature, aren't we? We're not bothering with animated or documentary.
We did all 3 last year, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, no problem. Do you want to do it now?
I guess.
It's 2 for the price of 1, everybody.
During the fact I hadn't even looked at the PGAs yet. There we are. Thank you,
okay.
Variety.
So we'll run through. I guess we'll go documentary first, then animated, and then the main one. So for documentary, we have The Dawn Wall, Free Solo, How, Into the Okavango, RBG, Three Identical Strangers, and Won't You Be My Neighbor?
AJ?
I'll stick with Won't You Be My Neighbor.
Ashley?
I'm going to say Free Solo.
And I'm also going to stick with Won't You Be My Neighbor.
Well, I'm really conflicted because I want it to be 4 of them. In RPG and Three Identical Strangers, as well as Won't You Be My Neighbor. So for animated
RPG.
Yeah. For animated, we have Dr. Zeus is the Grinch, because we have to differentiate it. Incredibles 2, Isle of Dogs, Ralph Breaks the Internet, Wreck-It Ralph 2, and Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
AJ?
I'm going to say Into the Spider-Verse.
Ashley?
I'm sticking with it as well.
Even though I really wish Isle of Dogs was more in this, it's going to be Into the Spider-Verse.
Okay, and then for feature film, we have Black Panther, Black Klansman, Bohemian Rhapsody, Crazy Rich Asians, Favorite, Green Book, A Quiet Place, Roma, Star is Born, and Vice.
AJ?
Roma.
Ashley?
Roma as well.
Roma.
So that now means it's free for Tuesday for us to go crazy on 24 categories. Segue, Owen.
Tuesday, time to be announced is we'll be doing our final 2019 Academy Awards predictions. We're going to knock out every single one of the categories. So that's going to be coming your way in podcast format. And we talked about last night, if you weren't tuning in, but if you're watching tonight, I'm sure you tuned in last night, that, or watched the archive or checked out the archive, or going to, the fact that we're going to be doing our Oscar nomination reactions, not live right after it actually ends. We're going to go live ourselves. And then we're going to be done with, it'll be done in podcast format, but we're not doing chat. We're not doing anything. We're basically going to leave it to later in the day, which might end up being as soon as we finish. We're going to have a nomination discussion, our true discussion of the nominations. And then, of course, we'll do our actual Oscar predictions.
I think we did that 2 years ago, didn't we?
I believe so.
2 years ago when we synced it up to watch it
That was
live.
That was a mistake. So, yeah, we're going to do it right this time. So, that's your show. Thanks, everyone, for joining us tonight. Ashley, where can we find you on social media?
I am on Twitter at AshIsMyNameUK.
More Snack Stash, more Game with Ash coming in the near future. Monday Wrestling Popcast coming at you guys tomorrow night, right after Raw's over. We're going to be talking a little bit of everything, including spoilers for Ring of Honor and Impact in Mexico. AJ cannot be found on social media, but if you'd like to leave a comment, you're more than welcome to do so. It's in the bottom of this video or any of the other videos. Check out all the AJ's movie reviews and verses. And very soon we have a top 10 from both AJ and Ashley. I cannot do one because I watched like less than a handful of movies this year. So
I'm hoping at least to you tomorrow.
Cool. Thanks, Movie Guys. So yeah, that's going to be your video for tonight. If you want to follow me on Twitter, it's @TherowanDisney. The network is followed at Popcast Network, and our Facebook fan page is Popcast Network. I want to thank everyone for joining us tonight, whether live or in archive. And until tomorrow, boys and girls, that's all we got to say about that.
Paddington 2, motherfuckers!